Well, Angel of Mine is the new film from director Kim Farrant. It's her second after Strangerland in 2015. The film opens on a close-up on the face of Lizzie, Noomi Rapace, touching up her troubled face in a mirror.
You can always just leave him.
When she arrives home to greet her son Thomas, Finn Little, who's been handed over by his father Mike, Luke Evans, Mike informs her that he's going for full custody of Thomas. And very soon we can see why. Lizzie is decidedly unhinged. She's never stopped grieving for the daughter she lost in a hospital fire soon after birth. When she spots the 7-year-old sister of a friend of Thomas's, she becomes convinced that the girl Lola, Annika Whiteley, is her daughter. She inveigles herself into the lives of Claire, Yvonne Strahovski, and Bernard, Richard Roxburgh, just to have access to Lola. Claire twigs to the fact that all is not quite right with Lizzie, and the tension mounts as Lizzie takes more and more risks to be around the 7-year-old, and Claire does everything she can to stop her. It's actually nail-biting stuff. The film, written by Luke Davies and David Regal, is based on a French film, L'Empreinte, which is in turn based on a real event. It's truly gripping story, and the two actresses at the centre of it are really impressive. I've not actually warmed to Noomi Rapace since her role as Elizabeth Salander in the Millennium series, but she's truly splendid in this, as is Strahovski. And young Annika Whiteley makes a very sweet Lola. Also impressive in the film are Tracy Mann and Pip Miller as Lizzie's parents, and Rob Collins as a sort of date for Lizzie. The whole cast is solid. Kim Farrant does a fine job as director with Andrew Commis's cinematography, adding to the unsettling nature of the piece, as does Gabe Noel's music. It's so good to see yet another impressive Australian film.
Well, I didn't find it, I'm afraid, all that impressive. Overwrought, and just didn't really work for me at all as a psychological thriller. It was so obvious. The conclusion you could sort of see coming like a train coming down the tunnel, totally obvious, and it just seems to be a real pity still that we make films here that have to have overseas casts. I mean, there are dozens of actresses that could have played that here, and particularly in such an overwrought melodramatic way. Didn't work for me
Graham,
at all.
I think you're being really cruel here. I didn't see the ending coming. I mean, maybe I'm naive, but I really didn't. And I thought Noomi Rapace was really excellent. And you know what it's like, getting money to make a film. Producers, distributors, sales agents, they want an international star. And I think, you have a really solid Australian cast surrounding this woman, Noomi Rapace, that most probably got the money together to make the film possible. So, I understand it, and I excuse it when I think she's done really well in the role. I'm giving it 4 stars.
No, well, I'm giving it 2.5. I didn't like it very much at all.
I'm very sorry for your loss, but I can't help you. I think you need therapy.
Kim, I'm interested in how you became connected to this project.
So Angel of Mine came to me from the producers in America, Josh and Brian Etting. They'd seen Strangerland at Sundance, and there were some parallels in terms of thematically. So they sent me the script. It was originally a French film called Mark of an Angel. And then they got the rights to adapt it, and Luke Davies had written the script with David Regal, and I fell in love with it. I did say, can we change some things? Can we work on it? Are you open to that? And the French version is an amazing drama, but it's very much a drama, and it's very French in that way of real time, and it's very slow and languid, and it's beautiful. We were more interested in making a thriller, and we kind of took the same premise, and then, it departs their version quite a bit, and especially in terms of tone.
About the casting, how did you decide? Because Yvonne's America-based now, isn't she?
So Yvonne Strahovski, I didn't know Yvonne was Australian. I'd seen her in Handmaid's Tale and was completely addicted to that series and loved her and thought she was electrifying. And then when we were looking at casting the role of Claire, she came up on a list of Australians, and I'm like, no, she's the girl from Handmaids. And they're like, my producers, Sue Armstrong, who's the Australian producer, who's amazing, said, no, she's Australian. And I was like, oh my God, this is gold. So we sent it to Yvonne, And she read it and said yes, which was incredible. And we'd attached Noomi first. So, you know, I'd seen Noomi in The Girl from the Dragon Tattoo and Prometheus, the Alien series, and had always been like enamoured with her kind of intensity. But I was interested in, would she be willing to go to a more raw, stripped back, kind of unfiltered, dirty, messier place than those big Hollywood, you know, kind of trilogies. And so we got on Skype. She read the script overnight, very rare in Hollywood, loved it, and said, I want to talk to you. We got on Skype and I asked her that question, would you be willing to go to a more scary place within yourself? And she was like, Kim, directors are so scared of me. They don't challenge me. She said, it's very hard for me to find a director who will push me and unearth me. So if you would be willing to do that, I would love it. So it was intense. It was a really intense shoot. And Yvonne, you know, has different processes and matched her in performance. I was very lucky in having two really strong women who were equally as fragile and willing to give me that and show that. So, and then I've got these beautiful supporting characters in the men, Luke Evans and in Richard Roxburgh, who whilst they have, you know, only a few scenes each, as Luke said when he read the script, like normally he said, I wouldn't travel half around the world to do something with only like 3 or 4 scenes, but each scene is so potent that I'm in. And so, you know, that was incredible for us to get him on for such a kind of smaller role. And then Roxburgh was always my first choice to play Claire's husband. So once we had Claire Yvonne cast, then I was able to approach him and he said yes, and he's beautiful in the film. Very different role than what you might have seen in Rake or in Blue Murder. It's very kind of stripped back and grounded and, yeah, beautiful.
She is stalking our family.
I know what's mine.
Nothing is yours.